Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Winnie.
And today we are looking at an article called The 2024 Paris Olympics.
I'm excited because I personally really enjoy the Olympics every time it comes around every 4 years.
And that's the Olympics, we mean the Olympic Games, and it's the Summer Olympics that comes every 4 years, but we actually have an Olympics every 2 years because every 2 years there'll be either a Summer Olympics or a Winter Olympics.
Yep. And so the Olympics is a really great place and event to showcase a lot of different countries' athletic abilities. So we have things like track and field, so a lot of running, a lot of jumping, and other traditional sports like soccer and basketball.
Yeah, there's many different sports, and it's a great chance for these athletes to represent their country and have some, and when you cheer for these athletes in their sports, you're cheering for your country, so it's real national pride for most people.
Exactly. So I'm excited to get into today's topic, which is the 2024 Paris Olympics, Part 1.
The Summer Olympics take place every 4 years. In 2024, Paris will host them from July 26th to August 11th. The city is no stranger to that. Paris 2024 will be the city's third time. Paris also held the Summer Olympics in 1900 and 1924. This time, Paris is promising a complete spectacle, though.
Let's get started on today's article, which is the 2024 Paris Olympics, Part 1.
Okay, let's begin. The Summer Olympics take place every 4 years. In 2024, Paris will host them from July 26th to August 11th. The city is no stranger to that.
And what do they mean by that?
Well, they mean that they are familiar or they have done something or seen something before. It's not something new to them. It's not strange to them. So it's no stranger to that.
Right.
And this city, Paris, of course, being the biggest city in France, the capital city of France, famous, of course, for its Eiffel Tower.
Yes. Very, and baguettes.
And the art museum.
Oh, yes. Okay, that's more sophisticated.
Okay, so they will host the Olympics. So to host something is to provide a place and some of the things that are necessary for an event. So when a city hosts the Olympics, they need to give the places where they can have the sporting events. They also might need to have some other things like security and ways to sell the tickets. They need to do many things to make sure that that event runs smoothly.
Yeah, it's a very big task. But yeah, just like the verb host, we also host this show. Yeah, so continuing on, Paris 2024 will be the city's third time. Okay, so they've done this before. They're no stranger to that, right? So Paris also held the Summer Olympics in 1900 and 1924.
Okay, so that would mean that this will be 100 years since they last hosted the Olympics.
You are correct. And wow, so they are pretty much experts at hosting an Olympics by now, I would hope.
You might think, however, I think a lot has changed over the last 100 years. So I think
that is true.
There will be many new things to learn and many things to overcome.
Yes, exactly. And so as we saw, the verb hold, and in this case, it's the past tense, held, okay? So they held the Olympics before. So it just means to grasp or carry something. However, in this case, it is used to mean to host an event or even a party, right? So for example, just like you said, to host something means to make sure everything is ready for the guests, and in this case, the athletes and the countries that are going to be attending the Olympics, making sure that the Olympic Village is ready, so where the athletes and the teams are staying, making sure that the food that they provide is healthy, making sure that for the guests who are watching the Olympics have a bathroom to go to. So this is really what it means to hold something, to hold an event or a party. So there's a lot of things to be responsible for.
Well, this time, Paris is promising a complete spectacle, though.
Ooh.
So I guess the last two times, it was not a complete spectacle, maybe. And this time, they are promising.
Okay.
They're saying, we'll definitely make it happen, definitely having a complete spectacle.
Right, and so complete, in this case, it is an adjective, and it means when something has all of the necessary components or factors, and it's used to emphasize how amazing and well-rounded this show or an event will be. Okay, so we are expecting a lot of entertainment and a lot of great aspects to this event.
And it's going to be a complete spectacle. So a spectacle is a very impressive performance or display that can be seen.
Yes.
So it's something you can watch or see, and it's going to make you say, wow, because it is so impressive. And this will be a complete spectacle, meaning that every part of this Olympics is going to be amazing, or we could even say going to be spectacular, meaning that when something is a spectacle, we can use the adjective spectacular.
Right, and as a lot of people who have probably seen an Olympics before, you know there's always going to be show-stopping dances or performances, and honestly, seeing all of these countries come together is a spectacle in itself.
And I think there's going to be some new exciting things that they're bringing to this Paris Olympics, but we're going to find out more about that after the break.
In fact, Paris 2024 is breaking new ground in sports competition. It's bringing the sports and other events out into the city. For example, volleyball will take place at the foot of the Eiffel Tower.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about how Paris is going to host the 2024 Summer Olympics. And they're not new to this thing. They have hosted the Olympics twice before, both in the year 1900 and 1924.
Yeah, so this will be their third time.
But this time, it's going to be a complete spectacle.
Yes, they're promising it, in
Yes.
fact. Okay, so in fact, Paris 2024 is breaking new ground in sports competition. Okay, so to break new ground, they're not going into Paris and hammering the streets, taking off their floors. To break new ground is a phrase that we use, and it means to try something new or to be the first to do something for the first time. So we know that this is Paris's third time hosting the Olympics. So what could that mean?
Don't know, but they're going to be something surprising, I hope. So they're breaking new ground in sports competition. Competition means the act of trying to show that you are better than someone or a group of people or better than another thing. So when there is competition, one thing is trying to overcome the other thing to show that it's better. When we talk about sports competition, usually we are talking about athletes trying to do something, a sport, and trying to do it the best to prove that they are better than the others. So that would be like playing soccer or playing basketball against another team. That is a competition.
Right, exactly. Or for some people, their competition, they like to do spelling bees. That's a competition.
Another kind of competition. It's bringing the sports and other events out into the city. So this is the new ground that they are breaking. They are bringing those sports into the city.
Right, because that's not typical of an Olympics. Usually they hold it in a stadium or indoors.
That's right. For example, volleyball will take place at the foot of the Eiffel Tower.
That is awesome. That speaks to the volleyball nerd in me. I love volleyball.
Well, I think that makes it more exciting to watch these sports on TV when you can see really beautiful landmarks in the background and just recognizable things about the city.
I mean, it's great because usually when you watch the Olympics, you know it's taking place in a city, but you don't actually get to see much of the city because everything is indoors.
So they said volleyball will take place at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. So volleyball is a sport, usually with teams of 6 people that compete, so 2 teams of 6 people, which compete against each other by trying to hit or volley a ball over a net. And if the ball touches the ground on that team's side, the other team gets a point.
Exactly, yes.
So, yeah, it's an exciting sport to watch. It's one of those Olympic sports that's very fast-paced, and you can see people jumping and diving. It's very exciting to watch.
It's a great team sport, too. You're not just solo out there. You gotta be a team for it to work. So we also have the phrase to take place. So what does that mean? It means when something occurs in a certain or specific location. So for example, we often hear when we're listening to storytelling, they will say, oh, this story takes place in ancient Egypt. Okay, so you have an idea of where and what time this event occurs. So for example, volleyball will take place at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. So now we know that the volleyball match will be at the foot, at the bottom of the Eiffel Tower.
Right, because we wouldn't say, usually a structure doesn't actually have feet to walk.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the base or the bottom of a building or a tower, we can say at the foot of something.
Yeah. I think this is a really great way to showcase the sport and also to showcase Paris.
And it's the first time that this has been done, to show these sports in the middle of the city, where you can see the city as a backdrop to the events.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna make their promise to make this a complete spectacle.
All right, well, we're gonna learn more about the 2024 Paris Olympics when we come back next time for part 2.
See ya!
The Summer Olympics take place every 4 years. In 2024, Paris will host them from July 26th to August 11th. The city is no stranger to that. Paris 2024 will be the city's 3rd time. Paris also held the Summer Olympics in 1900 and 1924. This time, Paris is promising a complete spectacle, though. In fact, Paris 2024 is breaking new ground in sports competition. It's bringing the sports and other events out into the city. For example, volleyball will take place at the foot of the Eiffel Tower.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 host 动词主办。The school will host a talent show next week. 学校下周将举办一场才艺表演。下一个单字 hold 动词举办举行。它的3态是 hold, held, held. The city will hold a parade to celebrate the holiday. 城市将举办一场游行庆祝节日。Parade 指的是游行。下一个单字 complete 形容词十足的、完全的。The man is a complete fool. 这个男人是十足的傻瓜。Fool 是傻瓜。下一个单字 volleyball. Volleyball 名词排球。We played volleyball at the beach yesterday. 昨天我们在海滩上打排球。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 A is no stranger to B.A 对 B 并不陌生 Stranger 在这里指的是没有经历什么的一方，前面搭配 no 来表示否定，后面用 to 来接名词或动名词。我们来看看这个例句 James is no stranger to speaking in public. James 对于公开演说并不陌生。下一个文法 break new ground 开拓新局，后面可以用 in 带出开创的领域 New 可以用 fresh 替换来表达相近的语义。我们来看看这个例句 Their research broke new ground in medicine. 他们的研究在医学上开拓了新局面。Research 指的是研究。最后一个文法 At the foot of 加名词，在什么的底部 Foot 在这里表示最低处，横用单数。我们来看看这个例句 At the foot of the mountain, there is a small village. 在山脚下有一个小村庄。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hello. Today we are going to Chiayi City Municipal Baseball Stadium. Some of you might be wondering what municipal means, because we see that word everywhere. It just means relating to a town or district or governing body. So in this situation, this baseball stadium belongs to the Chiayi City government. We will also find out a lot of the colorful history of Chiayi City Municipal Baseball Stadium. Let's go and check it out. Chiayi City Municipal Baseball Stadium is located near Chiayi Park. The baseball stadium was first built in 1918 during the Japanese colonial period. This over 100-year-old stadium plays an important role in Taiwan's professional baseball. Many excellent Taiwanese baseball teams were trained here and went abroad to enter international baseball tournaments. In 1931, the Kano baseball team claimed second place at Koshien in Japan. In 1979, the Puzi Little League won the championship at the 1979 Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, United States. All these baseball teams went through very extensive and tough training at this baseball stadium. The baseball stadium used to be called the best baseball park ever in Taiwan. However, as time went by, the baseball stadium needed refurbishing. To revive this historic baseball stadium, the authorities put a lot of effort into its refurbishment. The refurbished baseball stadium was reopened in 1998. Outside the baseball stadium, you will see some artworks, such as the huge copper baseball bat and 7 Bengal tigers. They are used to commemorate those who brought honor back to Taiwan. Chiayi means a lot when referring to baseball. When it comes to baseball in Taiwan, Chiayi City Municipal Baseball Stadium is undoubtedly a significant monument. Wow, it's so interesting to learn about the meaningful history behind the Chiayi City Municipal Baseball Stadium. Next time I'm in Chiayi, I hope I am able to catch a game and really submerge myself in the experience of watching a game in the stadium. It's a home run!